Grandfather's Ledger, a riddle-solving adventure. Saga stood in the center of her grandfather's attic, where dust motes danced in the afternoon sun. She had always known he was a man of secrets, but she never expected to find a silver-locked ledger hidden behind a loose floorboard. On its cover, embossed in gold, were the words, "For the one who seeks to know." Saga felt a rush of excitement. To open the first lock, she needed to solve a riddle inscribed on a hanging tag. Just as Saga began to read, her friend Quill climbed up the attic ladder. Quill was the kind of person who memorized encyclopedias for fun. "A mystery?" Quill asked, his eyes brightening. Together, they looked at the tag. It read, "I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Saga smiled. She knew this was a test of their geography knowledge. "It's a map!" Saga exclaimed. As she whispered the word, the first silver lock clicked open. Inside the ledger, a hand-drawn diagram appeared, pointing toward a heavy wooden globe in the corner of the room. Saga walked over to the globe, tracing the lines of the continents. "The next clue must be hidden here," she murmured, searching for a latch or a secret button among the painted oceans. Quill joined her, noticing a small inscription near the South Pole. "Look at this," he said, pointing to a string of chemical symbols and a new riddle. "I am the building block of life, yet I am not alive. I have a nucleus, but no brain. I have electrons that dance in a cloud. What am I?" Quill's mind raced through his science notes, trying to visualize the structure of the universe's smallest component. "An atom!" they shouted in unison. As the words left their lips, a small drawer popped out from the base of the globe. Inside was a vintage postcard showing a magnificent glass pyramid in the courtyard of a grand palace. Saga turned the postcard over. The riddle on the back read, "I was once a king's home, now I am a museum. My glass pyramid reflects the Parisian sky. Where am I?" Saga knew her history well. "The Louvre in Paris," she said confidently. She noticed a series of numbers written along the edge of the postcard. 19, 20, 15, 18, 25. "It's a substitution cipher," she realized. She began to cross-reference the numbers with the alphabet, her pen flying across a scrap of paper. "S-T-O-R-Y," she spelled out slowly, realization dawning on her. Quill watched as Saga decoded the message. "Story?" he wondered aloud. Maybe the next clue isn't an object, but a place where stories live. He looked around the attic, spotting a massive bookshelf filled with ancient leather-bound volumes. He walked over and ran his hand along the spines, looking for one that stood out from the rest of the historical texts and biographies. Saga joined him at the shelf, and they found a book with no title on the spine. Instead, a final riddle was tucked into the cover. "I have a spine, but no bones. I have pages, but no life. I tell stories without speaking. What am I?" They looked at each other, the answer so obvious it made them laugh. It was the very thing they were holding a book. Saga opened the untitled book. It was not full of text, but instead high-quality blank parchment. On the very first page, her grandfather had written a note. "Knowledge is a journey, not a destination." Now that you have found the way, it is time to write your own story. Saga felt a swell of pride. She realized this quest was not just about facts, it was about the thrill of discovery. Quill handed Saga a beautiful fountain pen he had found in the globe's drawer. "Ready to start page 1?" he asked with a grin. Saga nodded, sitting back down at the desk. The attic was no longer just a room of old things. It was a sanctuary of wisdom. Together, they realized that every riddle solved was a door opened to a much larger world of wonders.